Greetings, my name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved, and welcome to Pathologic.
Traces of the supernatural reveal themselves more often than intelligent and reasonable men would prefer them to.
Less often, actually, if it was
Chimeras,
more often than...
worshipped by our ancestors,
Did you just call it
centuries
chimeras?
ago, crawl back into the light from ancient times. The directors of our fate rain ash down on us from the grey heavens. They conceal themselves beneath us, above us, and among us.
Don't be cringe, audience. Don't be cringe. This was made way before that game.
Gaze. Having been discovered, they appear in the flesh for a mere moment, and then they expire horribly, wreaking havoc on the world that they rightfully see as their toy.
And like any ignorant child, they'll break it just to see how it works on the inside. And don't we all? Hi, Victorian schoolgirl? Fool! Dr. Doom toots as he pleases. Man, these kids look miserable. What, did someone die? What is this, a funeral procession for a doll? Oh, yes, apparently. May the builder see that doll to its rest, I guess. What on earth is that haircut? You know, I can't for the life of me figure it out. Are these kids supposed to look weird and creepy and unnatural? Or is it just the graphics? Or maybe they realized that the graphics that they were making looked weird and creepy and unnatural, so they decided to build the story around that. That would be interesting. Well, that was the intro to Pathologic. I don't know what the fuck any of that was, because I haven't actually played this game before. Well, that's sort of true, but that's a long story. Point is, this is a mostly blind playthrough of a game that I've heard good things about. Yeah, Pathologic. It's a game about, well, presumably, judging by the name, it's about a disease. Or maybe just doctors in general, I don't know. Let's play and find out. Sorry about that. Had to exit the game to deal with some resolution issue. You know how it is. Or maybe you don't.
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well,
good question.
The muscular contraction is
Where the fuck am I?
Means we're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
What the
Does it
fuck are you
matter
guys
what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform sectio transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do.
Jeez, this is like watching a
Those who
sixth
favor
grade
logic
musical.
and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well. But there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice.
What is this pretentious
Stop
nonsense?
thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
What the
It's not even a
fuck are
trap.
they talking
It's
about?
a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
Well, that... And now there's statues. Okay then, that... I'm sure that probably means something. I'm sure that's probably deep and meaningful if you know the ending. Or maybe it's... Maybe not. Maybe it's just one of those weird things. Anyways, yes, here's where we choose our character, I guess. Let's see. Changeling. This character's only unlocked if you finish the Bachelor's or Horusfix's story. Let's see. How do they call upon the Menku, the faithful of a warden kin? Known by their hands, for they are butchers. Known by their eyes, for they are surgeons. They who follow the lines. They who are the leaders of the kin. They who speak to Udurgs. They who know the secret arts of haruspicy. They who throw down a bunch of words that I have no idea what the fuck they mean. I can tell we're not gonna get along. What is a haruspect? Reading the future in the entrails. Yeah, more or less. He knows that the body bears the semblance of the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body. His steps follow the lines of his kin's fortune. A haruspect that can tell a true line from a false one is entrusted with power. A haruspect who is confused by his path gets buried in the deep black flesh of the earth. This is the story of a person who has avoided the contradiction, eager to rip a doomed life apart, masterfully fulfilling his true purpose in the process. Okay. Bachelor. The history of humanity witnessed a number of catastrophes that have demonstrated, without a shadow of a doubt, the pettiness of human achievement and the triumph of the invincible evil. Outbreaks of infectious diseases that have, from time to time, wiped towns and cities off the map are undoubtedly among these. However smart and virtuous, the people caught up in these destructive events have repeatedly come to the conclusion that it's no use trying to fight these circumstances. The best you can do is bite the bullet and cope with your losses. This is the story of a person who has managed to work a miracle and defeat a seemingly unvanquishable foe. Alright, my kind of guy. The truth is that it's not that there's no use trying to fight these circumstances, that nothing you do matters. It's because everything that you do matters. It's just that you don't know. It's just that the consequences of your decisions are so often so far removed from the decisions themselves. So it's not that there's no use trying to fight these circumstances. It's just that more information is needed. Virtue and intelligence go hand in hand here, because you can't really be virtuous without intelligence, because you don't know. Well, never mind. This game is affecting me already. I'm delving into pretentiousness. I'm just gonna click on it and continue.
Daniil Dankovsky, a Bachelor of Medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be.
I know that feeling.
Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims.
And to that end, he
There's
ventured
a
into
settlement,
fallen
the
London.
letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan and stays at her place till dawn.
Ah. So he's a guy, embarking on a journey to, like, prove that immortality is, remotely feasible, being persecuted by the powers that be, because, honestly, straight-up death worship is far too common in society. It's like, when they realized they were in a desert, they built a religion to worship thirstiness, so to speak. It's, distressing. It's a really malignant coping mechanism for the specter of mortality. They invent all sorts of reasons why immortality would be, like, unpleasant or whatever, but they're all just excuses for not having to face the specter of mortality. So they think that they've accepted death, but all they do is deny it. Futilely. Deny its true form. Because death is the supreme evil from which all other evils are derived. That is its true form. Hello! Is that Eva Yan? Nice. Look at that stepping young lad. I don't know how young he is, actually. Probably in his maybe mid-20s, early 30s, something like that. As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. Yes, I'm something of a thanatologist myself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of its existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. Bloody fascists. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it will be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. Alright, that's the main mission. I've got nothing else. Alright. Day 1. By the end of which the Bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. No such thing. Alright, good. Nice. Alright, good. Got a nice save system. Been playing a lot of games recently that don't. Fortunately, aside from Thief, I suppose. Let me just... Okay. Alright, it's been like 15 minutes or so. Oh, more like 10 to 15 minutes. And I've finally actually started playing the game. Alright, wait, hang on. Let me just check the controls. Use is E, good. Jump is space. Sneak is shift, then what's run? Oh. It isn't. List of the bound. What? Okay then, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Anything? Oh! I don't know what this is. Okay. Makes me put up my dukes. Let's see, I've got a scalpel. 50% durability. Man, you really should come here with some less beaten up tools. I guess maybe you are on the verge of being booted out. I suppose you probably don't exactly have much funding to speak of. Alright. It's got the Thief style flashing for when you can interact with something. Ah. Oh. Health, immunity, hunger, exhaustion, infection. Alright, so I was right about this being something related to diseases, obviously from the name. And, you know, just talking about diseases and everything in that. Alright. What is that? Yeah, I don't like this head bobbing. It feels a bit off. Damn. Can't turn it off. Blimey. That's unfortunate. Feels weird to walk on. I say feels weird as if I can feel it underneath me, but... Hello. Seriously, what is your job? Who dresses like that? Are you some kind of... Well, what's a polite way to put this? Lady of the night?
Pain.
Or is that just like your bedclothes or something?
I had a feeling you would come.
Yes, I also have a feeling that I will. The sounds from outside wake you up too. There was a terrible groan, and then something snapped loudly. No, I heard nothing, or I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. What sounds are you talking about? Not certain what the difference between these two is, but alright. I think there are strangers in the backyard, by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. Why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? Our population is so thin. Crime is basically non-existent, especially here, in the stone yard. Sometimes there are pranks, of course. Fights happen occasionally. People are young here, so they often go out at night. But we're a tight community. And now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sound. Go on and take a look, but I'm in a hurry. I must see this founding father of yours. Are you so willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that of a dreadful old man? Even if he is a sorcerer. That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He has always been. He always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please, stay with me a little longer. Man, we just got here and we've already got someone trying to get into our pants. Man, this bachelor guy, what was his name again? I don't remember if it said his name. He's got game. Either that or it's just, you know, small town things. Where just where they're just so... small towns, you know, they often have people who are just, you know, desperate for anything new that they'll, like... They can just throw themselves at any newcomers, you know, especially places that don't get a lot of traffic. I can confirm that firsthand. I was one of them. No, I kid. I couldn't even imagine the hospitality here. But who was waiting for me? I didn't notify old Burke of my arrival. Not even sure what made me take off for this place. Glorious the messenger riding ahead of the man. A celebrity from the capital. Bachelor Dankovsky, the founder of Thanatologist. The man who challenges death. Of course we've heard of you, about you. Ah, so that's why you were wanting to get into my pants so quickly. The glory is undeserved yet, but I hope that getting to know your ruler will give me a chance to live up to the expectations. Death. So that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Is it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Well, first time for everything. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than a singular case of death. I don't understand. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that had shaped this world? That is the question. Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. In fact, I've said similar things in the past. It's, people say that, you know, death is inevitable, but a lot seems inevitable just because, well, it's always happened. But could liken it to beating your head against a wall. You could do that 100 times on 100 100 walls and get nothing but a concussion for your efforts. And then you do it, but then you do it one more time, and the wall comes tumbling down. And often, because death is a lot. People, the problem is people like to simplify things far too much, and that loses a lot of the nuance. Because death is not like a single entity. Death is a very complicated thing. Just like a wall is not. I mean, you could consider a wall a single entity, but actually, it has a million a million individual parts. More depending on how deep in depth you want to go. Each part is different. I mean, one part might, and each wall is different. One wall might be unassailable, seemingly, but you might find, but they might find a crack in there that you can just wedge something into, and the whole damn thing falls apart. And yeah, it's like people assume that death is inevitable because it's always happened. But that's not exactly true. Because death is not any one particular event. Or something like that. I don't know. What is it about this game that brings out pros in me? I don't know. So where is the key to my victory? It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible, on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? I need no advice. No, not that egotistical. Go on. Simon has 2 younger brothers. The eldest of the two, Georgie... How do you pronounce that? Georgie? I don't know. Is called the Judge by the locals. Oh good, that means I don't have to actually learn how to pronounce his name. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the 3 is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. How to speak with him? What, does he speak a different language? Is he deaf and speaks only through sign language? Okay. There's like an up. Apparently it's pronounced Georgi. So the I doesn't really affect anything. It's just... I don't know. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright. Thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may be of help to you, if you need it. Okay. I'll come back. Maybe I'm unlikely to stay here long, but even if I was gonna leave immediately, I might as well come back, if nothing else, for just to see you in that whatever you call that outfit again. All right. A map. Ooh. It even has this. Oh, it has the whole thing. You know what? This is probably. Ooh. That. Yeah. This is a little thing. I think that's a little thing showing me where I am, and also where I'm looking. All right. Already, this is 1,000 times better than basically every map that I use in Thief. And Thief 2, and all of the campaigns. I don't know what the fuck these are, though. Anyways. Well. Time to go, I suppose. So
It's so quiet around now.
I'm a bit ashamed. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do any more voice acting for these people, especially for women. And so I was like, oh, this game has voice acting. Apparently not for the actual dialogue, though. What the fuck are you? It's like some sort of weird, like a weird cross between a creature from folklore and a gimp. Tragedian. I don't even know what voice to give this guy. Venerable Bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. The conversation won't take much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues, at least during the important ones. That's a tad meta. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Oh, this is a tutorial, I guess. Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you aren't. You are a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest. And to make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? Or, no, I don't. Not me. If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or naturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress, but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens. I can testify to that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man of you of the fact that hunger is sated with food? Okay then. Food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds and only in private residences around here. I'm sorry, but that's just how our world is. Yes, the world is unjust. Hey, you think that's unjust? At least you can just sleep whenever you want. God. Me though. If I tried to force myself to sleep, I'd wind up laying in bed for hours and not getting anywhere. It has happened. I'm not even exaggerating. And quite silly if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops will sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk out in the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others will be willing to part with their life's blood for them. Blood? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if, following your Hippocratic oath, you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Okay, so apparently these people will just accept random drugs from random people on the street. I mean, I guess I am apparently well known around here, but that still feels like a bit of a prospect. I don't know. Maybe I guess there might be like implied dialogue about how, here, take this, it'll help you, it'll like do so and so process or whatever, and they just accept it because I'm a doctor. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You'll be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Show me the way to Simon's house. Turn left now, then walk along the alley. You will see a cathedral and 3 mansions across Bridge Square. Simon lives in the one that is closest to the river. Thank you. Okay, what the fuck is your deal? I don't know if that was meta, or if things are just weird around here. Maybe both. Halt. I'm going to have to teach you all the technicalities of the setting, the time and the place. It's non-essential, that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or he'll also fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? Technicalities of the setting. Okay, that's almost certainly meta. You're going to have to teach me? Aren't you forgetting your manners? My manners? There are different manners of life and thought, none of them mine. If everything goes awry, you'll get a chance to witness each of them. That is something you should probably try to avoid. As for now, please forgive my rudeness. I'm in a special position here, and so I have the right to be blunt sometimes. And who are you? An actor in a tragic mime show. That's unimportant. Will you listen to me or not? I'm listening. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Obviously, things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so it makes sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find the people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. As it always has been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? This world cares for your reputation. A fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world, you see. For it is a mirror, wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you in a lot of trouble. But I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. For example? Oh, need I describe? You've got a vivid imagination. Everything changes, from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you meet treating you badly. How many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are. Lots of things. How bad my dreams are, what? Okay, up till that point everything was making sense. A sorry prospect. So how do I maintain my reputation? Really? It's not even a question, same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not betray. Do not steal. Do not covet. Do not be an asshole. Sound advice. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. See. Really? Good for you then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives. And don't put too much stock in another's words. Mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Yet he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Alright. Shit, what was the directions to his house? Damn it, I immediately forgot them. I know I turned left. Wait, I have a map. What am I talking about? Yeah, left and then right. Alright. Shame about the lack of a run, but at least this walk isn't too slow. Can't tell if walking diagonally is... What the fuck is that? Did I just pick up a pair of shoes? What? Oh, I picked up this. What the fuck is that? It really looks like a pair of shoes. I'm gonna be honest. Yo, what the fuck are you doing? You gonna spot? Why is he a doll in that image? Okay, I guess I could just go talk to random people to get directions. Alright, this is... Lockpicking light. The Crucible. The mansion of Victor Kane, Simon Kane's brother. That's not where I need to go. Alright. What was I supposed to... Which one was I gonna visit first? I forget. What the fuck is a plague finder? Okay, Q. Okay. What the fuck is this? Whatever. Alright. What the... Are those supposed to be... What are those? I think they're supposed to be some kind of flower? I can't tell if they're really bizarre or if that's just the graphics. Let's see. Time to steal everything not nailed down. No, I can't actually interact with anything. Okay. Hello.
However brilliant an action, it should not be esteemed great unless the result of a great motive.
I don't know about that, but okay. Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing, and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, yeah, how many YouTubers do you know that pronounce that perfectly on the first try, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. You're kidding me! I came here for the express purpose of finding a guy that's supposed to be immortal, and the moment I come here, he's been murdered. Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. Damn it, why did it have to happen just before I arrived? Right as I found the chance to prevail. I mean, if it had happened later, then I would have had the opportunity to study him beforehand. Well, I guess I could study his body. And if it happened before, then I wouldn't have had to waste a trip here. Damn it. Well, I guess the game's over then. I guess I'm just gonna bugger off and leave. Well, see ya. Precisely. Why did it have to happen just before your arrival? Are you asking yourself this same question? I hope you don't see any connection between my arrival and the murder. I mean, maybe it was one of those the powers that be who were murdering him so that I couldn't, in order to stymie my research, or one of my rivals or something. I mean, I guess it could have been me, but coming here a bit earlier and then killing him and then coming late and then leaving and then coming back later and making it seem like I had just arrived. But why would I do that? In fact, I do see a connection. However, do not mistake it for a thought that it was you who murdered him. Well, at least that's something. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? Well, I'm no fatalist, or categories like time, nature, and fate deprive man of responsibility for what goes on around him. I was taught to avoid this worldview. That's more or less the increasingly verbose version of that. But yeah, exactly. Time does not do anything, so to speak. If there was just time and nothing else, nothing would happen, you know? Time doesn't... You could say that time doesn't exist in the same way that, say, other dimensions of space don't exist. Well, not that they don't exist, but that they aren't entities. They are simply dimensions of objects. You know? It's not so much an inherent property of that object, more a labeling of the properties of specific details of that object. So like, and time is no different. Time is just a description of the dimension in which things happen. So time itself doesn't really have any powers. It's simply things happening. Well, anyways, yeah. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. That, however, I agree with. It seems like it would be a really unlikely coincidence. Now, granted, this is a game. You know, entropic principle and all that. If there wasn't that coincidence, the game wouldn't be happening. Therefore, that coincidence must have happened because or the game wouldn't be happening. And people only make stories about interesting things happen. Well, that's not entirely true. Sometimes people make stories about things that very much aren't interesting. But that's usually unintentional. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. I see. Why do you speak the word fate with us disgust? Probably guess. Why wouldn't you speak the word fate with such disgust? It's a vile concept that's done a lot of damage. Anyways, really? Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Yeah, naturally. Hang on. Okay, never mind. I thought there was a tiny bit of snapping in the idle animation, but I was wrong. Although the way he stops when he goes down looks a bit unnatural. Whatever. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume... So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed itself for a pawn? But why? I detest chess metaphors, but alright. To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you, Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out of his way to provide you with a body of evidence. Body. What did he do? It is of no importance to me what exactly he did. He took another leap for the stars and paid a terrible price for it. I repeat, he was murdered. The subject of importance here is the identity of the murderer. Everything has gone to rack and ruin. Wish I could take vengeance upon the person who ripped the life from this man. Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed. It seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Dankovsky. I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. Alright. I suppose a lifetime of finding inventive ways to fight back against both the seemingly inevitable and those proponents of such has equipped me to be quite inventive indeed. Right. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. That's, well, I'm good at that. The best in the world, in fact. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. Fine. I'm fine with this course of action. I mean, I prefer a little bit of help, but I'm sure I'm used to people relying on me to do everything. And I don't know about everything that's doing here is happening on my account, but, well, sort of, I guess. Because I was mentioning about, you know, causality, everything mattering and all that. But yeah. Alright. Tell me more about Simon's manner of death. Oh, it even shows when when the stuff occurred. That's really neat. I can sort of keep track of when thing is happening. Huh. I really like this map. I really like this map. And these little things, which, you know, show these little blurbs. I don't know. Quite fond of it. Alrighty then. Well, things have gone to shit immediately. I mean... Yeah, I mean, the guy who's the entire reason that I came here is dead. Someone murdered him. Probably the same powers that be, or someone in league with them at the very least, they're screwing me over. Or something. And now I've got to... and now I've got to figure out who the fuck murdered the guy and solve this whole mystery. And to think, just a few minutes ago, I had just arrived in town, and already there was a woman trying to get into my pants. Things have gone downhill from there astonishingly quickly. Still not sure where the disease comes into play, though. Maybe... maybe those same people that murdered him are... I don't know, have something to do with some disease that'll be spread. Who knows? Anyways, well, I know who will now. You, the audience, in the future, and probably right now if you've played this game before. I wonder.
Few people know death. We only endure it. Usually from determination.
Indeed.
And even from stupidity and custom.
But yeah, okay, so I can't actually stab him. Fair enough. This isn't Morrowind. Maybe I should play Morrowind sometime on the channel. I've played it a lot. Not recently though. Anyways, next time we'll delve into this strange mystery. But until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. So long, suckers.